This is a good time to make a video and put a temporary door in on this building here. Got this this is treated. It's lightweight. Looks decorative. And I'm out this artwork here. It's got a handle on it. Some hinges. I need probably one more hinge. And I'll pull out masonry here. Try not to damage it too bad. This building is historic. And if you don't damage the brick, you can get tax incentives. In other words, whoever owns the property for the duration of the time, the owner, you can pay half property taxes, like 1 of 3. This from a girl who's working for the Uptown Greenville, North Carolina committee, I guess, whatever it's called. There's a facade program in Greenville where they'll match half the price of making the facade look better. This is an Art Deco building. It was built in the 30s. It's always been like a contracting building. This office has had a drop ceiling, and now it's going to be opened up for exposed joist, ceiling joist, or whatever, roof joist, beams, roofing, or whatever. It's got steel columns. Had an electrician install some I don't know what the type name is, but you can put LEDs in there instead of fluorescents if you want LEDs. I'd rather have natural lights, and there's areas where there have been HVAC units and openings which make great already framed in, I guess, openings that can be used for skylights. Get natural light, which is good. It's good to get UV light, actually, not necessarily between 12 and 2, but we have melanopsin in our retina. I learned from Dr. Jack Cruz. He's a neurosurgeon, and a lot of ophthalmologists have been practicing for years of this new science. But that melanopsin is that melanin, which is a pigment. It's produced by melanocytes in different parts of your body. Makes your skin darker when you get exposed to UV. And it's what forms the blackness in your substantia nigra that's part of your dopamine system. And glial cells support that. That's what Ibogaine works on, glial cells. So I'm also doing some construction and trying to create a trauma healing center, which is the root of what causes most chronic diseases. Is something that has to do with your nerves, and it dysregulates your body. It dysregulates your mitochondria, which is also affected by all kinds of toxins in the environment, including non-native EMF, like RFK Jr. is trying to explain to people. They think he's a nut, but that's not true. More than likely, he was targeted because he believes in world peace and for a clean environment. And even though a lot of people don't agree with the Democrats, well, look what they've done. They basically censored him. And so you can't, the people in power, they want to hold on to power. It gives them some type of, I don't know, it makes them diminished, kind of. It corrupts them, and it causes sickness, because they don't care. They don't care because they think that the more money they make, the happier they'll be, and it doesn't work that way. And then when they lose money, they just jump off buildings and things because they're scared. It's fear. It's trauma. Trauma is fear. Some people argue, well, there's plenty of people that are traumatized that don't have any fear. Well, that's just a not good understanding of what trauma is. There's doctors I've talked to who want to make that argument, but they don't quite understand because they're in a niche. Whenever you get too much far into a niche, you have blinders on. When you have blinders on, you think that you know everything, and once you think you know everything, you can't be told anything. And once you can't be told anything, then you don't get anywhere. You got to keep an open mind. You got to work with people. You got to listen to other people's opinions. Somebody who can be on a vegetable in the street might be the smartest person alive. You don't even know. How do you know if you can't communicate with them? you think that everything revolves around you, then you're going to be, you might as well be a turnip, because it doesn't. Because everybody's connected. And we live in a field or a jelly or something that's known as consciousness, and the science proves it. The quantum computers prove it. And once you see that there's things out there that you can't comprehend because you're not designed to do that. We were designed. We were created. We didn't just spontaneously appear. There is something called evolution, it's true. But there's breaks in that system. And things do evolve. Things change. When you resist change, bad things happen. Things break. People go to war. And anyway, I'm just watching what's going on, because there's been a lot of hoodooism around here. I call it hoodoo, or Game Plan, or Mr. Beast characters that have been all up and down the street and all over pretty much the United States. It brings these people in from all over the world to disrupt society and make everybody attached to their phones. I got a phone, but I'm using it. Everybody likes their phones, and the thing is, they're listening devices, and they record you, and they can see your eyes, they can track the movement of your eyes, so they can understand your thoughts that way. They can actually understand you better than you know yourself, because your subconscious mind is really what drives what you find to be important. Your awareness, your conscious awareness, is just something there to kind of make you see what you're doing, but your underlying drive is coming from your subconscious, and that it's important that you expose yourself to things that give you a healthy subconscious. If you are constantly on your phone and you're looking at AI girlfriends and talking to a computer chip, then you're going to end up being demonic, like Michael Havens, who basically is trying to keep me from helping people, because he is so far screwed up in the head that he's actually got people in New Hanover County, judicial people, under his control, and to where some of them have probably been gone, let go, and things are shifting, because good should always win over evil. And we'll see what happens on Friday. And because he wouldn't be able to do this because he's an idiot. And idiots, what they do is they just dress up and pretend that they're somebody that they're not, and they download stuff on the internet, and they fill out paperwork, and they just do whatever they can and however they can to pretend that they are somebody else. He listens to the Game of Thrones over and over and over and over again. He thinks he can act, but everybody can see right through his acting. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this video, and I'll get on with my day. And this Mr. Beast character, he affects all people, and there's good people and bad people, and he likes to say that he helps people, but that is basically to win favoritism. He will say he's going to donate money to the ECU football. Okay, that's great, but at the same time, he will do stuff to hinder other people, and that way people are confused. So let me see what happens when I try to upload this video. Am I going to get blocked? My Instagram account is totally messed up. I can't even change the password. And there's this girl named Taylor Nicole Cannon who has been trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing, because she understands that there's something good about helping people, because she works for she did. I don't know where she works now, because they told me she no longer works at social services here in Pitt County, that she's quit or she's been fired, or I don't know. And then somehow somebody called a friend of mine and told her that she was just scared of me, that she lied when the lady lied. Well, why is a social services receptionist lying? I mean, that doesn't make sense. There's nothing to be scared of if somebody's trying to get an understanding of how to get benefits when they're unemployed and they got a bill to pay. And why would somebody lie? I mean, it's not good to lie. People who tell lies, why do they do that? What are they trying to hide? Are they trying to protect somebody? Well, ask some questions. What do you need to see? Okay, I'll answer that. Okay, well, Why do you mention her? Well, because she came to my place and she was being assaulted, or when she was in fear of her life, and I helped her out, and I told her, she was welcome to come inside, and then then she insulted me, and then later on she just said, "Hey, I want to be your queen." She said, "Call me a faggot." And that's what she did. And then I said, "Well, that's kind of a strange thing coming out of a young girl who is like just walking down the street, and then she's like yelling at some guy, and I was like, this seemed like something out of a movie, and it might have been a whole, just a play, a drama. Look at these birds. You see these birds coming here? They follow me around, and sometimes they distract me. Look at that. Look at that. Oh Lord, they're playing. It's a pretty day. The sun has come out, and it was cloudy. Somebody told me it was supposed to be sunny all day yesterday, but the truth is it's sunny today, and it's going to be a nice day. And it's supposed to be 70-some degrees by Friday. That means we're almost in spring. There's a prophecy that says between March 21st and Easter that things are going to go all chaotic. That Trump's invaded Venezuela, and that's going to be the start of a global conflict, like on the scale of who knows what scale it's going to be. It might be World War III. And we've been fighting over politics and religion for years, and it's been by design. And YouTube had funded Mr. Beast, Jimmy Donaldson, Christopher Donaldson, or whatever, because he was young and he was on the computer all the time. He was a nerd, and they just felt like they could take advantage of him and his mom, and so they just supported him, and they made him sign a non-disclosure agreement. And then he does that to everybody else, but that's not legal, because when you violate the law and you go around and you do collude, which is not necessarily legal, but you conspire and collude and then damage property, and you knowingly and willingly try to harass people, basically stalk them, gang stalk them, and send characters over to, the whole process. It can all be proven. There's evidence. There's photographs. There's actual physical evidence where some guys damaged outdoor unit to a split system and destroyed the fan motor, and there's witnesses to that, and I've got videos, and we all know that everybody around here kind of heard of this guy. I've never met him. I've got my daughters. They know people associated with him, and they don't understand the big scope of things. They're trying to. Mom passed away, and it's a tough time when that happens. Of course, she had fought cancer for many years, and she probably understood what was going on, but she didn't really, there's not a whole lot you can do when you're fighting for your life, You have to, roll with the punches, and that's what she did. And some people, when they're traumatized, that pain and that background noise can lead to cancer, and it happens, and people are trying to figure out, how does cancer occur? We can't cure it. Well, that's why, because there's big money in cancer, and once you start driving down the money train, it's hard to stop the train. You got to have the money, and then you got bills you got to pay, and the next thing you know, you ain't got time for yourself. You got to make the money for your family, because the train does not, it's got to go somewhere, and it needs fuel, and that's how it works, So anyhow, I can make another video some other time when I got more time. In the meantime, we're going to see what's going to happen today and the rest of the week, and then maybe this guy will get arrested for doing the things he's done. He's hurt my dog. He's damaged real property. He's hacked into people's phones. He's stolen things. He's threatened people. He's urinated in public, walked around naked, sexually harassed people. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And I'm sure there's federal crimes when you're doing wiretapping and hacking. And he needs to be taken off of Facebook and Instagram and all social media and all these cash apps and stuff he's doing. He's basically representing himself as a homeless veteran, when in fact he's got a place to stay. And he's advertised that he is, to look at me, I'm a poor homeless veteran, please send me your money. And he lists out so many daggone cash app type programs or whatever, software apps or whatever, that I don't even know where they are. I mean, there's a whole list. We got evidence of that. My mom's got a whole bunch of evidence. We've got videos of him with stolen property. He's squatted or basically showed a fake lease, that's a felony, to a magistrate. And he's actually appeared in court under oath and has lied. And he's trying to make up arguments for possible illegal things from other states, like maybe Connecticut has this thing where you can send a lease in the mail to somebody or email them, and if they don't respond to what you've written in so many days, that means you've agreed to it. That's total bullshit. You know, that's something that maybe some state has come up with years ago, and it's not valid in North Carolina. I'm not a lawyer, but it's just common sense. And you know, if he's a businessman, you know, I say that he's guilty of unfair and deceptive trade practices, of course, and that's where you try to hinder somebody else's business by doing sneaky, cheaty things, and that's triple damages and attorney's fees. Of course, he'll need to pay, and of course, he does have money. He's been collecting money, and he does have some type of accounts, and he wants benefits, but all those benefits should never go to him, because when you do illegal things, you're not supposed to get benefits if you're a veteran or not. And you know, maybe he's working for Mr. Beast. I don't know. We're going to find that out when we subpoena everything at some point, when I get a lawyer or can afford a lawyer. Or maybe I can get the, what do you call it, legal aid, and then pay them, agree to pay them if they can get some of this money back. Because that's how they work. They want to know, and they don't call you back very easily. I got a couple of a public defender and his assistant, and they just want to keep me out of jail. And of course, jail, you know, is not the worst thing in the world, because you learn secrets in jail. The people that are in there are dealing with lawyers and judges, and they know a lot of stuff. And so the best thing to do is not put me in jail, because I already know too much already. And I don't want to get, you know, I don't want to get put in prison for something that's made up, because then I can sue. And if you get sued, you get a lot of money. And or I could just go public on Facebook and let all the Nigerians know how stupid we are in this country with a legal system that is corrupt or it's been manipulated. So anyway, let's see what happens.